So, hi everybody, I'm going to be quiet. I hope I will be brief because the life have been interrupted so many times. Yeah, I was actually saying that I have been making a few live videos, and it was mostly about my paintings, and there weren't that much people interested. So I have asked which types of videos that you like to see, and I've got some response of people tell me that they would want me to speak mostly about my routine. Um, Many of you don't know is that I actually I used to lift weights, and yeah, I'm not lifting since February. And yeah, so my routine right now actually involves planting crops, which make a lot, which have lots of emphasis on the back muscles, and I'm doing mostly push-ups and a lot of cardio lately. So I'll go about the time when I used to lift weights regularly and how I actually plan my workouts. So the way you can plan your routine is very extremely dependent on the type of lifestyle that you're actually having. Some people have workout split on 9 days and have a rest time in between. Other people will be able to train only 3 days per week. Others will train five or maybe two, or only on weekdays. So your lifestyle will have a huge impact on the type of routine that you'll have. And there's another parameter which actually involves I forget what I'm about to say. Yeah, how is your body at that specific point? Um, so some 2 years ago, actually, I was badly injured, and I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. So I stayed on the bed. I wasn't able to train, and it was extremely hard for me. So when I came back to the gym to try to train normally, I wasn't able to train to do the same routine that it actually planned to do, and I had to be extremely creative. Yeah, I had to be extremely creative because then I've noticed that every single I couldn't do any exercises that involve core muscles. So I couldn't do squats, I couldn't do deadlifts, and how's it called, hamstring curl. I couldn't do it because it was painful, and side laterals also laid a huge stress on me. So I think it's inclined side laterals. So uh, so like you say, the most basic exercises were hard for me to do. So I actually changed my routine completely. I focused on what I could do at that specific point. So I could train calf muscles, but at first it was painful because it's very close to hamstring. I could train shoulders, I could train chest muscles. For abdominals, lower back, it was simply too painful, so I had to avoid this. And I could train forearms. So based on these muscles that I could train when I was injured, so that's how I began to write that routine. So if I remember well, during it, the recovery period took me 8 months. 8 months where I really couldn't train much of the core movements. So I did chest on one day, shoulders another day, and lower legs on another day, and I think I mixed it up with forearms as well. So if I'm doing lower legs, so it involves calves and tibialis muscle, and I'll do forearms on the same day. And I try to find the safest possible way to train, and it actually allowed me to keep training without really get more injured where I was actually recovering. And then later I could do squats, I could do deadlifts, but I had to go extremely slow. I remember I tried to do deadlift, and I just had to stop because it was painful. So yeah, that's how I plan my routine based on the muscles that I could do. That's how I planned it when I was injured. So yeah, there are other ways to plan a routine. So very often when you're lifting weights, you have to cater what you want, what's the result that you want to achieve, and it will have an impact on the type of routine that you're planning. For instance, I do calisthenics, but a huge amount of my like I said, for instance, I do a huge amount of calisthenics and weightlifting. So I actually lacked some equipment, calisthenic equipment, but I had more access to lifting equipment. So where I was training, I had access to bars, I had access to straight bar dips, and the way I planned it is to have in mind to have at least 80% of my routine involving lifting weights, and 20% involving calisthenics. So at times, especially when I'll be doing something new or haven't been that regular at the gym, and I'm actually starting straight at the beginning, so I would do a lot of calisthenics and cardio, especially on the first 3 weeks. And sometimes during the first 2 weeks I'll do only cardio, and then I'll incorporate some calisthenics exercises, and then later I'll be adding weights, because there have been some 2 times where I'll start with weights, and when I'm actually I'm back at a training, and it'll injure myself. So that's the number one advice that I tell people. If you haven't been that regular at the gym, sometimes you can be regular but you don't pull in that much effort, and that's mostly what's happening with me. As at times I'll be doing it's quite often actually I'll do less than I'm capable of, and when I try to go a few steps further, it's too much at first. I mean, so there's different ways someone can plan their routine. The most common ones is to have opposite muscles. It's very good to know where the muscles are, to line up them, because it will help you when you're planning, or when your coach is planning how to train you. So the most common ones are usually chest and back, shoulders and legs on 2 days. Some people have legs on 1 day, some people will have more legs but more emphasis on the quad muscles on a specific day, and then have more emphasis on the back, so the hamstring and calves on another day. So when you're training chest and back, it's good. It's a lot of people doing this, and I remember one of my mistakes when I first tried to write routine is that I actually did chest and back, and then I did legs later. I did hamstring, and I had a huge pain because I didn't really thought about the fact that when you're training back, especially lower back, it does train a little bit of your hamstring. So when I'm training legs, I'm doing hamstring, and it's just more painful. It's not something that I recommend doing, because I've been there. It's painful, and then you have I forget. It's just that it's so long, and wait. Chest and shoulders are quite linked. They're quite close. So you notice that if you do chest and you go straight with a shoulder exercise, it will be extremely painful for you to get the movement right. Forgotten what I about to say. Yeah, there are different types of routines. The good thing is to cater for what's your health right now, how's your lifestyle, what's your time availability, because some people can only train 2 times per week, and these things will actually be how you'll incorporate your routine, which muscles, by routine I mean which muscles you're going to train on specific days. exercise. I haven't talked too much about exercise. Yeah, and then you have when you already know what you're going to train on specific given days, and you'll have different exercise. So that's when it's good to know your muscle straight. Like for chest, you have three side: upper, middle, and lower. And then you not slats. I forget the name. It attach the abs and the lats. It's not the obliques. It's quite close. Yeah, like I said, I forget the names. Yeah, let's say chest has three side mainly. Whenever some person are training chest, and sometimes they'll want to vary it. You can do the same exercises but different ways. Since for instance chest has three side, but any exercise for chest will actually train all three, but you can lay more stress on the specific part, so you can focus a bit more on the lower part on a given day by doing more so it's decline bench press, decline movements, and I think it's a row when you're just upside down with a ball and you go like this. Yeah. Just 7 months and I forget everything. So, like I said, yes, you can actually vary them. It will be dependent on the which type of equipment are available, but very often most gyms have everything that's needed. And like I said, I try to incorporate calisthenics with weightlifting. So sometimes if I'm more focusing on the middle chest, I'll do dips first, then I'll do bench press, the flat bench press, and at other times I'll actually do the contrary, bench press and then dips. Oh, dips is my favorite, and then it's going to be extremely hard to get the technique right, because when you do bench press first and then you go straight to dips, it's not that easy. It's on level, it's a higher level, so it's good to, if you're not used to do calisthenics afterwards, you know that if you're not getting used to it, do calisthenics first, and then while you're progressing you can change it. So there are different ways to vary your exercises. You can actually do lying, decline, incline. You switch a barbell with a dumbbell. These are ways to change the workout. And then you'll have, let me think. I haven't shown you the view that I'm actually liking. I don't know if you see it. Okay, that's it. They're adding a lot of construction lately, and Yeah, it's lots of construction works being done. I have neighbors now. Mm, but I who is looking? Hi Yogeshwar. Hi Shley. Hi Chna. Thank you. Yeah, I remembered. Another way to vary your routine is to have different ways to to make your reps. So depending on your which type of body you have and what's your current goal at that specific time, you'll anyway. So you'll make your routine accordingly. So there's different ways: burnout sets, three sets, super sets, 1 to 6 rep range, 1 to 10, 1 to 12 rep range. You'll have burnout sets thanks to all this. You'll have pyramid sets. Oui? Il est pas au moins là? Yeah, pyramid sets is something I actually recommend, especially when you are back at the gym, or that's because when you start lifting again, you may not be you might not know what's your strength, and you may not be used to that 3 times 10, so it's 3 sets, 10 reps, and at a given weight, so you may not know it. And what I'll do, especially when I don't have a training partner, I won't be doing the 3 sets, 10 reps. I'll be doing more pyramid sets. So for instance, for squats, especially if very often I don't have a partner, I'll be doing the first set at, let's say, 10 kilos, and then I'll do a second set at 20 kilos and a third set at 30. Is it? No, it's 10. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'll go until 60 if I'm starting over. So hey, salut les chichas, ça va? So yes, like I said, I'll be doing pyramid sets mostly when I'm without a partner, or when I'm actually starting over. So there are a few things that, like I said, how I plan my routine when I'm going to be back at the gym. I'll be doing cardio for the first 2 weeks. I'll do cardio and calisthenics the 3rd week, and then maybe on ouais, ça va. Fais-moi décide pour faire une live vidéo que m'opé cause lo comment m'opé plan ban routine, et Ouais, parce que c'est question qui plusieurs minutes devant moi. Et, et moi, j'espérais tout bien. Ça vraiment manque moi, toi. J'ai bien apprécié traîner dans un gym. M'appeler. D'accord. 2 minutes. Avec toi. Ah, mon pas de mettre là, mettre la vue que tu m'as dit. Non! Viens manger! Ok. Viens manger! Hi, Mickey. Mikey. Dès que attends un petit coup là. Mais non, jette-toi à le manger. Allez, vas-y. Oui. Oh my god, que tu as été. Au fait, c'est la cour. Et c'est au fait la vue que moi. T'as montré ça. Et la construction paie tous les jours, hein, alors on dit même paie à Lévis. Hi, Michael. Moi, vous venez Saint-Pierre bientôt, ça semaine-là peut-être. Oui, comment me suis dit, motivé cause l'eau, comme commence workout, qui me fait, et dans du monde qu'à pas connaît, mais depuis 13 ans, on fait me fait plusieurs sports. Avant 13 ans, au fait 13 ans que je commence à traîner avec un coach. Et avant ça, moi, tu peux faire cycling. Salut Patrick. Moi, je peux faire vélo, roller et un peu de skate. Mon skate est un peu différent, laissez-moi. Il y a tout la roue. Et là, salut Véronique. Et là, au fait, mon pécose, quand on commence, et n'a dit un peu des moments qui me routine. Alors, mon pécose plutôt là, quand on commence, quand on reprend l'entraînement, des fois, car si me blesse ou tout, comment me coupe avec ça. Comment me dire, ben, 2 premières semaines, je fais des cardio. Ça évite moi au fait blessement parce que n'arrivait que de me bien blessé comme on commençait ici. 2 premières semaines, mon problème c'est juste cardio. Le 3e semaine, je commence en cardio, je mélange avec un petit peu calisthénique et peut-être à la fin de la semaine ou 3 semaines et demie, il y a là que je commence avec petit poids et je mets en principe 80% workout, weightlifting, 20% calisthenics. Calisthenics, c'est bodyweight, que nous pas servi l'équipement. Et comment moi tu peux dire avant, moi fait une pyramide 7 au tout début. Pyramide 7, c'est plutôt moi prends petit de poids, moi augmente poids là. Moi arrive à un threshold, par exemple 60 kg. Après moi rebaisse. Ça veut dire que je fais, maintenant si je fais squat, je fais l'îlot, on met des plates 5 et des 10 kg. Je change les. Je fais les, je mets des plates 5, après je mets des plates 10, 20 kg. Après je rajoute 10, 10, 30, 40, 60. Après je descends, je diminue. On arrive aux 60 kg, ça veut dire 30 kg de chaque côté bord là. Je diminue, je fais living 40, 30, 20. Et bien souvent, les plus cardio, à cause de ça, que je me dis quand je commence, je fais plus pyramide 7, à cause de un peu plus cardio. Et aussi, un peu plus sécurisé, surtout quand je peine à parvenir. So that's it for my way of doing a routine. Een quick snack online. Oui. Oui, mon pensée m'a fini la routine. Peut-être qu'il y a besoin de l'autre vidéo, quoi, de me parler un peu plus en détail, mais à la base, c'est ça. Dépend la manière en quelqu'un peut qui se lifestyle, qui se disponibilité, comment se l'écoiter, s'il est blessé ou autre. Si juste une partie l'éco blessé, quoi, et quatre les autres. Et bien, extrêmement bien renseigné beaucoup. Des fois, moi, tu peux demander l'avis plusieurs coachs, comme on commence au regarde, parce que au fait, moi, tu prends 2 semaines à peu près pour apprendre tout le maximum mix possible. Moi, tu me dis quel exercice qui est approprié pour chaque exercice. Et c'est à peu près au fait comme ça qui me cave comment se traîne. Salut Benoît. Salut Benoît. Et c'est comme ça que je se traîne. Alors, pour le routine part, c'est tout. Et peut-être qu'il va vous causer un peu long, les sports qui me faire. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui ne connaissent mon fait sport même. Parce que je comment leur différents settings. Alors, comment je me suis dit, moi, tu fais roller, skate, cycliste. Avant, après, pendant 4 ans, je traîne avec des coachs athlétisme. Je fais une cross country. Je fais sans hauteur, sans longueur, tout, presque tout sauf sur la perche. Oui, c'est une finale après les stars me qualifié. Écoute, nous allons nous faire un certain given, un lancer, un saut, un long pourquoi avec un sprint. Et par rapport à mon pointage, je me dis pour mon finaliste, moi je fais 400 mètres et 250 mètres et beaucoup relais qui m'ont préféré. Parce que tu vois comment c'est à témoin là, témoin ces bâtons là. Pour moi c'est juste aller. Et une fois que je me rappelle, je dis qu'il a, je me tiens à 15 ans à peu près. Je suis dans une compétition nationale. Salut Redouana. Je suis dans une compétition nationale que c'est moi starter. Et je peux mettre starting block, mais ce qui me pas connaît, c'est me pousse une pique avec starting block là. Alors, je commence à saigner. et storyline de moi en 2 minutes pour que madame clean moins net parce que mais ça prend fait des affaires parce que moi je fais trop saigner et c'est une finale nationale ça que de te qualifier bon ben qu'à faire autrement me la met saigner une patine en remplaçant c'est-à-dire c'était l'équipe pour lui ça 10 ans de cela beaucoup et et oui nous fait les courses encore c'était un 4 fois 150 mètres nous galpé moi quand je un bronze à jour là comment me fini les courses c'est mon adverse passé et me l'amène jusqu'à la tire en plus je savais que c'est ça on va avec à cause du tout moi j'ai trop essoufflé parce que 150 mètres c'est comment mettre des corps allez et ça serait moi les amis oublié ça vous avez témoin là-dedans on a dit quelque chose mais en vrai c'est moi la gauche là mais droite mais waouh une fois que ça c'est mon premier médaille individuelle ça c'était 400 mètres et moitié minime moitié parti dans le final national cadet c'est qui n'arrivait mon dernier tiens un petit film tombé ouais un petit film tombé avant dernier il reste en bas même mon dernier est parce que quand je devais faire 400 mètres ou 400 mètres et surtout ce dernier est là il est extra dur parce que fait long elle est au stade net and then when you do the full lap of the stadium it's extremely exhausting on your legs and you have to do the hurdle race where you are jumping above it so I've fallen down and then there was a man who said continuez puis fini là and then I just completed I do my best to complete it and I was able to walk because my knees were bleeding but I didn't expect I actually thought I was fourth but then I heard that the first one was Mauritian she was from Madagascar so she was actually participating out of contest so yeah that was my first national medal that I have won and it's a bit I still remember it how it was hard but I kept saying when you're running it's like you just want to achieve the finish line and that's it then you can fall down then you can do whatever but you need to cross that finish line. I think there was only one instance where in my whole career of athlete where I didn't cross that finish line. It wasn't actually when I was an athlete, no matter how hard it was to train. I've been training on sugarcane fields, hills, mountains, at the beaches, on roads, on stadiums. So no matter how hard it was for me, I did my best to at least complete what I had to do. And that only one instance was actually I think when I was at university and I just didn't feel well at all. I had to vomit, so I actually think I couldn't continue. But usually whenever I'm not well, no matter how I'm feeling, we get a huge amount of different conflicting emotions while you're running. That's what I love running so much. You feel happy, you feel sad, you doubt yourself, you you're excited, you're not excited, you know what to think. You think about food, you think about everything and nothing, and there's conflicting emotions. So what actually made me fall in love with athletics. And then when I no longer loved no longer loved athletics, I just stopped. And I don't find it, I don't see the purpose of... Bonjour Greg, c'est Annielle. Je suis en train de parler de ma vie en tant qu'ancienne athlète et précédemment je parlais sur la musculation. Et là, je parle principalement sur l'athlétisme. J'espère que tu vas bien. Parce que je pense que ça fait plusieurs années qu'on ne s'est pas vu. Et comme je disais, ce que j'aime le plus, ce que j'aimais le plus lorsque je faisais de l'athlétisme, c'est d'avoir différentes émotions. Lorsque j'étais en train de courir, quelquefois j'étais découragée, encouragée, et excitée, passionnée, et je pensais à mille et une choses et à rien du tout, et ça a toujours été ce qui me plaisait le plus dans ce sport, bien plus en fait que les compétitions, parce que je n'ai pas été très performant au niveau de compétition, et en fait je pense que peut-être que c'est principalement les compétitions qui m'ont fait cesser d'aimer l'athlétisme, parce que j'aime courir, j'adore courir, mais je n'aime pas nécessairement les compétitions parce que j'ai tendance à être assez stressée facilement. Well, I think I went way beyond the route. What's your routine like? Videos. I might do different type of videos, like when I did roller, skate, hoverboard. And actually, I don't think many of you know that I do roller blade. I used to be good at it. I used to fall down at it a lot. I went to Bagatelle when they had their skate park, and I'll do my roller things, and then I'll fall down like a sweet potato. I think the person who have asked me about the routine aren't here. They didn't watch the video, so maybe later. Yes, so maybe later. So that's it. I thought about making a live at night, but I wouldn't have shown you the beautiful view, and I'm actually enjoying the view because it's soon going to get a road and lots of people People are actually building houses, so I'm starting to get neighbors here, and I don't know if I'm still going to get that beautiful view um, like I used to. So thank you Yogeshwar, Ashley, Channel, Diksha, Veronique, Benoit, Patrick, Ridwana and Greg for watching my video. And if you want me to talk about something else, then I'll talk in English, French and Creole, depending on my mood. So, or if you know only specific language, so c'est beaucoup cosy. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui et si tu t'en fais une autre vidéo, ça fait mon abonné. Bye bye. Ah, on va montrer cette vue là. Oh, pas connu. Ça, moi là, où fait ZP, fait un chemin. Il finit commencer au fait dans mes mots. Pour qu'un chemin bien voisin.